Good morning class 5 and welcome to your first video for this week. I hope you enjoyed the videos last week because I did actually enjoy doing them. So we're going to have a look at your guided reading for this week, and the text that we're going to read today is called The Lighthouse. Now it's not similar to your English and the video that we watched last week. What do you think this text is going to be about? Okay, get your highlighters ready and we're going to read through the text together. And I want you to highlight or underline any words or phrases that you are unsure of. There's quite a lot of phrases in this one as well. Okay, are you ready? The lighthouse. Before he pushed the loaded supply boat out into the Sound, he turned his back to the wind, reached into his waistcoat pocket and delicately drew out a folded square of paper. He reread the copperplate writing that was so familiar. Thy way is in the sea, and my path in the great waters. He read the words slowly and deliberately, and, although he was not religious, the message carried some deeper significance, which was not clear to him. He returned the paper back into his pocket, repeated the words in his mind, and pushed the bow of the boat seaward. The lighthouse defiantly stood proud of the jagged rocks, a broken jaw of granite. He was always met by the three keepers who stood unwavering in any weather. The sealskin collars on their coats were drawn up to their chins. The men never spoke. They had lost their words to the wind. In fact, no one could remember their names or if they had any family. Letters from relatives had stopped long ago. The boat was unloaded. The keepers ignored the diving kittiwakes, terns and guillemots that searched for food. Then, in procession, the boy followed the keepers up the rough, whitewashed steps into the lighthouse. The metal door, blistered with rust, thudded closed behind them. The windowless circular room was panelled with cedar and smelt of burning lamp oil. At this stage, the boy always sat at the scrubbed pine table and was handed a metal mug of steaming tea, whilst the men emptied the cases of supplies. However, on this occasion, the last occasion, they joined him at the table and in solemn silence removed their boats and coarse woolen socks. Whilst their hands and faces were ruddy and weathered from years of exposure to the elements, he was initially surprised how ebony white their legs and feet were, but as he gazed closer, he understood the significance of their gesture. Stretched between their toes was a pearly skin as fine as silk. "Is you surprised, boy? We don't want no help. We just wanted to know." Then silence. His mouth was dry, his brow was breaking out in a cold sweat, and his heartbeat raced. He later regretted not asking them more, about the gills behind their ears, their hairless bodies or their scales. But it seemed almost normal, and he was happy for them. He refused to discuss their disappearance. At night time he would look out to the lighthouse. Its beams spun a silver path over the ocean. He believed that if he stared hard enough, perhaps it would come to him. But it took another 80 years and a Mr. Morse to turn the pattern of flashes from the lighthouse beam into dots and dashes. Translated, they read, "Thy way is in the sea, and my path in the great waters." Okay, so you need to find and underline the following words here in bronze, silver and gold. They will probably be some of the ones that you have highlighted as well. If you are unsure of the meaning, you can read around the sentence to find out the meaning, and if you're still not sure, you can just go onto Google and try and find out what those words mean. So we'll have a look at some of your questions today. So your first vocabulary. Find a word that suggests that the character took the piece of paper out of his pocket gently. So the key part here is find a word. We're just looking for one word. That's all we are looking for. So we need to read back through the text now to find the part where it says that he took the piece of paper out of his pocket gently. So here we go. So before he pushed the loaded supply boat out into the sound, I'll get my highlighter. He turned his back to the wind, reached into his waistcoat pocket, and delicately drew out a folded piece of paper. So we know it's in that sentence because we know the question is asking for a word that suggests he gently took it out of his pocket. Now, we know that gently is an adverb because it's describing how he took the paper out of his pocket. So which other word in there is an adverb and you could replace with gently? Well done if you said delicately. Okay, let's have a look at question 2. What does the word defiantly suggest about the lighthouse? So again, we're going to find that word defiantly, and I'm just going to highlight it there so I know where I'm looking at. So we need to try and decipher what the word defiantly means. So the lighthouse defiantly stood proud of the jagged rocks, a broken jar of granite. He was always met by the three keepers who stood unwavering in any weather. The sealskin collars on their coats were drawn up to their chins. Okay, so have a think about what you think the word defiantly means. Okay, and then you should be able to answer that question. If you're not sure, again, you can have a look on the internet. I don't want to give too much away. So I'd like you to work through the questions that are on your sheets. So you can pause the video here, answer your questions, and then you can come back for a scanning game. And I'm going to do it with you today as well. So I've got my piece of paper and my pencil ready. So when you are ready, we are going to look for words that begin with S. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, you've got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, put your pencils down. Okay, let's have a look. I found 14. So let me know how many you found. I'll show you the 14 I found. I had supply, stretched, skin, silk, significance, stopped, sealskin. Where was the other one? Stage. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and my last one was significance again here. Now if you have a look at how I identified mine, I wasn't reading line by line. Scanning games, you are scanning, okay? So you're looking everywhere. Well done if you beat me. I'm sure some of you will have done like you do in class. Okay, hope you've enjoyed your guided reading this morning. Keep working hard.